Hey guys, today I'm giving you my review on Beats, starring Anthony Anderson and Khalil Everage, I believe his name is, or it might be I think it's Khalil. Anyways, so it's a Netflix original, and I saw it. I saw the trailer, got me excited, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So, Netflix originals are starting to kind of have a bad rap with me. I've been trusting them, and so far I've been really, really disappointed in what I see. Like for See You Yesterday, that was a super, great film up until that end point where they went ahead and left you on a horrible, horrible cliffhanger / you kind of figure it yourself. And with Beats, it's kind of the same, only it's a lot more complete, but it still doesn't really kind of show you that end, and you still don't finish the film feeling, that's my biggest problem with this film. The film is about a young kid who is, in the streets, kind of living his life, whatever, and all of a sudden he suffers a very, I guess it's like a PDST. He becomes traumatized with the death of his sister that happens right in front of him. He had gotten into a conflict, and one of the people from that group, I guess, found him with his sister, and basically shot through his sister in order to get this person. It's horrible. It's crazy, kind of how, I don't even know how to explain it. The way that this film kind of kills this character off is one of those things where I kind of had a hard time processing her death. She dies in such a horrible, brutal way. You're kind of like, I can't believe that it was that serious, but I get in real life, these kinds of things is basically, what they call a senseless death. The character basically dies because, she's in the way, she's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and her brother does something stupid, like, trespasses on a group's territory and decides he's going to urinate on their sign. So of course, I can kind of see, it's stupid stuff like this that unfortunately ends in this kind of violence. So after this happens, he suffers he has panic attacks, and it becomes so severe that he can't go anywhere. So he becomes confined to his house. And then his mother also kind of confines him to the house too, because she's like, you're never going to leave me, and I'll be damned if you're going to bury me, I'm going to bury you. And she becomes like that kind of mother, which, is very understandable given what she has gone through. But that's pretty much where the movie starts off. I don't like the way the movie does what they do. They do intro, death, credit intro, movie. And the way that they start this movie off is very detrimental to this character, but they kind of give you the hip-hop music after that, and they're giving you credits, and it's like almost like you're watching a 80s, 90s, hip-hop film. A hip-hop video. And you're kind of like, it's like you just watched a character die in a horrible, horrible way, and then boom, credits, rap, music. You're just like, oh, okay. You don't really have time to sink it in or kind of process this death, and it just took away from her death when they did it that way. I don't really care for credits, like pre-credits before a film. I think it's very cheesy, and it's just, you're not there to watch the credits, you know what I mean? Like, you came to see the movie and you want to get immersed in the movie, and you get there and then they're like boom and they do title, it's like, it now opens up to watching this kid go through this, and then in comes Anthony Anderson, and he is playing a guy who at first seems like he's a security officer, but then you find out he's this music producer who got a tough end of the stick, ends up getting kicked out of the game, wants to get back in the game. And from then on, the movie becomes very, very heavily into him trying to get this kid to produce music for him. The film kind of drags on. It's one of those things where, I don't know, you're not that invested in it. And I wanted to see where this movie was going, but the movie's very one tone. It kind of comes to a point where you start meeting all these extra characters, and then somewhere along the line, the movie just becomes very flat. There's nothing really extra. character building is happening very kind of late in the game. I do like the special attention that they gave Anthony Anderson's character, you know, Romelo Reese, having the principal, you know, and he's going through this thing with the principal, you know, he's married to her. I like the backstory. I like that he's not just this random character that they gave you. Also is, I don't want to mess up her name, Uzo. That's her first name. But she's from Orange is the New Black, Crazy Eyes. That's pretty much where you best know her. She does a really good job in this film. She's very compelling as his mother. It's kind of hard seeing her do something else besides Crazy Eyes. But it was nice to kind of see her in a different light. And I think she did a pretty good job. Her character is explained well, but it's explained through the eyes of her kid. So she's just kind of typical hard mama, you know? She doesn't really have anything else behind her. And you don't really get a sense of her feelings. You don't really see her struggle. Kind of, sort of, in small places, but not enough to kind of feel a lot for this character. And then there's a lot of times where this character struggles real hard with just going out and, you know, and living his life. And the story really keeps very tightly on this. The story had a hard time kind of progressing and moving and pushing. And when it finally gets to that climax moment, it's not as great as you want it to be. And it was resolved fairly quickly. And it's because I feel like they ran out of time, you know, so they're like, oh, quick. I also didn't like the story ended the way it did. The story kind of ends on one of those things where, like, something, I wanted to see something more. Like, maybe, you know, he grows up and he becomes, you know, a really, like, successful, you know, music artist, or, you know what I mean? Something like that. But it's almost like the film just kind of says climax and then middle and then we'll end it on the middle. You know, you just kind of see them coming off that climax and then that trust trying, like, slowly being rebuilt. But it's not enough for me to go, wow, you know, great film, great ending. I love that I saw the end. I wanted to see the end. What I saw was just the end of the climax. It wasn't necessarily the end of the film. And that, for me, killed this film entirely. It's not a film that I would suggest to people because, once again, it suffers from having that real good end where you kind of know what happens. You see that progression. You see what they went through. And then there's that this is it moment, you know? Also, one of the biggest things for me was that the main character himself admits to not really knowing if this is what he likes because he likes it or because his deceased sister likes it. And the film totally forgets that and still keeps him on this track of him wanting to make beats. You know, like, there's no moment to where he says what he says. He's indecisive. He's not sure if what he's doing is for him or for her. There's no moment in when he goes, yes, this is for me. Yes, I like doing this. This is, you know what I mean? Like, there was no aha moment. There was just, he's kind of conflicted. This is really what he wants to do. And then, boom, I guess he wants to do it, you know? But there was no, like, aha moment, no revelation for him. This is all really about him just kind of following in her footsteps, which is not bad, but the film has nothing else to it. That's just really what it is. And it lacks a lot of depth when you think of it that way. I'm going to give Netflix original movie Beats a 2.5.
This your song! This is my song!
Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Once again, if you like this video, don't forget to comment. Let me know if you've seen the movie. Don't forget to hit the subscribe to see more of my videos. And of course, I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.